Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic Lesson Known Classics. This is episode number 2938 and Doubleshot 2831. Alright, we are here discussing, well, The Flash, The Wild West, which collects The Flash, Volume 2, Issues 231 to 237. All 7 issues are written by Mark Waid. The first half of these issues are drawn by Dan Acuna. And it's input Wally and his 2 kids help you out in Keystone City. Like you have Jay help out a young woman. Even though these 2 kids like a year old, but yet they're talking like normal. And of course, basically, they have super strength. And it's like they're about to be interviewed by the press, and then of course, like Dad is like, what do you say about cameras? Yeah. Oh yeah, and also that Jay can't exactly like, he has to take a nap of using his power. And apparently they can't be on camera for some reason, despite the fact they say he was lives. Yeah. So they have the 2 kids, and this whole thing is basically about the family dynamic. And it shows in the basement that apparently Linda West can use this machine. Now, I should point out though, Linda is a reporter, not a scientist. My guess is Wally must have taught their stuff just to keep their kids' powers under control. That's possible what happened here, but it's not where they just put like this little car seat on him and then use it to control his powers. Like just basically just smooth it out. And of course they mentioned something with Jay, with Barry, and well, Impulse. As for the 2 names are, I think Irie, I think it's supposed to be Impulse, and I think that Jay, they'll have a name. Of course, he's basically about to be consumed by a creature, ending the first issue, and then moving on to issue 232. I should point out that this actually is Mark Waid's 3rd and final run for the title, because after issue 237, he never turns out ever again. Nope. This was the first time he came back to issue 164. So yeah, they developed this creature over in that issue. I love it, the whole thing, the Wild West thing. So the whole thing, you have to steal a kid's lunchbox, who's chubby, and of course about these creatures. And oh yeah, and also and of course, he sprays water on his own wife. Yeah. They have to, of course, deal with these creatures. And then, with issue 233, the JLA comes in. I should point out, though, this is, I believe, post Infinite Crisis Justice League. Yes. So, they deal with these creatures. And then we have the line that Brad Militer started for Justice League America. We have Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Jon Stewart, Roy Harper as Red Arrow, Hawkgirl is in this roster, and Black Lightning. And of course, basically, it would come for the kids. Like, you kidding me? He's like, you kidding me, Wally? The Almighty Justice League can swoop in and steal away my kids? I'm not going to be a father that suits you. How dare you? You would judge me. You know the thing with little boy, little girl? Catch me if you can. Yeah. Yeah, and of course, basically, Wally points something and she's like, whoa, Superman meant here on the kids' behalf. Lou, we're not here for them, just friends. He's right. In this day and age, people have children young in family business. From you, I take it from you. I get lectured from on Chelsea from a man who's gone through 4 Robins. Which, yeah, that's true. And everyone's like, okay. Yeah, I think everybody can agree with basically that sentiment. Basically, the whole child safety and the 4 Robins thing. Yeah, it was like, okay. Can we move on here? So you don't understand why Harris is defiant, Sarah's stable and defiant of always German. But Jay and Irie were born different. Iris, excuse me. She's called Irie post Flashpoint. SPAGs, and basically he's a machine. And eventually, like, don't go alone. And then we have a backup story. Yes, a backup story in this book, which starts with this very issue and concludes 3 issues later. And it's all focused on Jay Garrick fighting these, taking on these creatures. And it starts with this very issue, concludes with issue 236. That's where it concludes. 234. Also, Dan Acuna has left the artwork duties with issue. He's a backup story, but he's not doing the opening story. He did it after 2 issues. Here it's different artists. I think it's Freddie Williams does the artwork now. Yep. And of course they help out, and of course they're just basically Jay basically like be out of control. His powers are going crazy, and of course he nearly caused a rock slide. But lucky enough, basically, of course this is caused by accident, and he doesn't get punished because basically even while they realize this though, that he did this on purpose, so he gets more powers under control. And then we get to the backup feature where the first part focused on Jay. This focuses on Barry. You know what I can tell? Because that's Iris he's with. Yes, the original Iris West. This is probably a past story involving him. And this is done by, I thought it was Dan Acuna. This backup story is actually John Rogers. Yeah. Yeah, and the next one's basically we have, I think it's Mike Werrico, I think it is, who had probably just passed away in 07. So then we move on to 235. I think Dan Kuhn just has the covers. So then the very next issue involves Wally, John, Wonder Woman, and Black Lightning take a dip underwater to deal with these creatures that pop in this issue 131. And of course, that's included for the next issue. And of course, the next issue involves Bart Allen and, of course, also a alien creature wearing Bart's, I think it was one of the Kid Flash costumes. And then, of course, we conclude this in 236. Well, the main story, anyways. Finished? Nope. This story is, yes. So after they deal with the creature, and the next is scavenger hunt. The Fast Life basically just continues with the whole thing with that. And moving on to 237. Which this one has a brand new writer. I think it's a guest by Keith Champagne. And of course, they're arguing. It's like a family issue with this one. And like Superman's cape. And of course, you have Wally taking this other creature working with Superman. And of course, you have Jay and Iris taking on, believe it or not, Livewire. Yes, they got Livewire. And then of course, you have Wally looking for a job. Yep. And that's pretty much the end of this little run here. I gotta admit, this arc was actually really good. I give this book roughly I'll give it a 9 out of 10. I guess I can give my final thoughts on what Mark Waid did for the book. Mark Waid, despite how currently he is not very liked anymore because of some stuff on Twitter, the guy did good Flash work. And here's a shocker for you. The rest of this run, the remaining, I think it's like 21 issues, non-trade. You're like, really? Yeah. It is non-trade at all. I will be discussing the remaining, like, issues in the future. Don't worry about that. Just that they're just not in trade for some reason. I don't know why, but it is. So next up we have is JSA Lost. which contains issues 59 through 67 of JSA. Written by Jeff Johns, artwork in some of these issues by Sean Phillips. Most of what it's like Paradegon trying to, like he appears in the cover here for issue number 57. Basically, he's here to set up the very next story arc. Well, the published next trade. So the thing with these issues is many different storylines going on here. So you have basically first you have Jay confronting Billy Batson, which he thinks he's 25, but not really. And of course, he was at Wiz Studios. And then Paradegon shows up, and of course, he tries to stop, and of course, he gets away. And then we see Hawkero and Alan Scott basically working together for a scene. And then we have Hector Hall and Fury. Because the whole thing because of the new Dr. Fate. Then we have Ray Palmer here with the original Hour Man. And then we have this weird moment here where it's Terry, but for some reason it's like he has his eyes closed. I'm not sure what the heck basically happened here with this. Did the colors forget to color his eyes? It's weird. So you have Iron Man going on the field, and then Billy has to leave because of what Jay said. Of course, he couldn't tell him because he's a young kid. Yeah. And you know the weird thing is, Jay, I don't remember if Jay was confronted by Courtney for this. Yes. And then we have the Spectre show up here. We have a flashback to Terry Sloan. Of course, it starts up the story arc known as Lost. Starts issue, I think, concludes with issue 66. I think it is, yes. So, takes Miracle. And by the way, the Spectre in these issues is Hal Jordan. Not Jim Corrigan. Hal Jordan, because came her time when he was a Spectre. Yeah, then we must have been working on his T-Spears with Ray Palmer. We show the fact how much he's not exactly very religious, because that's how the writer was written. That's how the character was written. Yeah, then we have this guy show up, who is known as the Spirit King. The Spirit King is apparently an old enemy of the JSA, who's responsible for the death of the original Mr. Terrific, Terry Sloan, back in the late 70s. And fun fact, even after two major reboots, that death is still canon. Yes. Terry Sloan is still dead. Despite the fact that he, well, how should I put this? Despite the fact he did show up in the Alternate Earth 2 continuity, except he was portrayed there as a complete dick. Yeah, he is in fact a dick. Yeah, for some reason, maybe I'm a villain for that in that continuity, so. Then we flashback to the very issue where Spirit King was possessing Jay to kill Terry. And basically, it's almost like Jeff Johns had to do a follow-up to that. Certified nurse. Second guess. Maybe she does, I don't remember. Then, of course, basically, it's like, yeah, then Power Girl steps in, and of course, everybody basically jumps in the fray with the whole law stuff. And of course, the issue ends with Spirit King once again possessing Jay Garrick. Oh, in case you're curious though, where is Rick Taylor? Well, he apparently is taking his father's spot in the whole 0 Hour stuff. What's to fix somebody in the story? Yep. Of course, they have a big brawl, and of course, Spectre tries to go nuts in here. And of course, he basically eats the Spirit King. Yeah, he eats him, and he's covering himself in blood. And then we have this dream sequence when Terry gets wounded, and you get a dream sequence where he meets his late wife Paula, which of course she's carrying a baby, which of course apparently Terry did not know he had a son. And he decides to name Terry. Terry. I like it. It will do, Mr. Stallone. And so, Mr. Stallone. Yeah, so he named his own late son after Terry Stallone. And of course, basically, that, well, more stuff with T-Spears. Batten pops up here too. And then move on to issue number 63. And 63, this is when Jerry Orwell returns to the title. Yeah. And of course, we have the resort Jerry Orwell here, so you can draw a statue live thing of the JSA Browser with the All-Star Squadron and Infinity Incorporated and Sand. Well, in the case of Infinity Incorporated and All-Star Squadron, these two books he actually drew back in the 80s, which makes total sense. And still, you read these issues like, wait, is courting like a friend Jay over what Billy said? Nope. It's like John probably did not want him in the title and probably just have removed because maybe DC editorial probably has something else planned for it, but who knows? I never met this book Jeff Johns, so I forgot the Lost thing wrapped up with this is issue number 63. So I was wrong, but I know it's the story last. I know because the last couple issues basically a two-parter. This is called Waking the Sandman. And we have it where Fury, Jay, Brainwave, Courtney, and Hawk are all get put to sleep, and they fight in the dreamscape. And of course you have, and this is kind of funny, so we have Cave Carson driving the JSA down to the Earth's core, and members here are, of course he's here with his wife, he's here with Power Girl, Wildcat, Alan Scott, Rick Tile, the first Hour Man, and Miss Terrific. This is a funny moment where Wildcat almost ends up in Power Girl's lap. Like, I heard a rumor for some time that Wildcat had a thing for Power Girl, but it never really got anywhere. I think that maybe Power Girl may know the fact that Wildcat's got a thing for her, but it's never gone anywhere. It's never been addressed. Like, Wildcat's supposed to be the guy, I'm guessing he's supposed to be in his 50s, I'd say. While Power Girl, based upon basically her way she looks, I'd say early to mid 30s. Mm-hmm. And then they're confronted by the Sandman. Well, the Sandman in the Gareth Sands costume, except that this actually is not Sandman, not the original. Oh no! Basically, Jeff Johns is visiting an old concept from the Infinity Incorporated book from the 80s. Yeah. So basically, he's visiting this here for this multiple, and of course, yeah, this actually, going to Brainwave, it's actually Hector. And blows a whistle, and then of course, basically 5 people. I could be Gareth Sands, but yeah, 5 people Earth's core, and actually no, it's not Hector Hall. It's actually Sand. Well, Sandy, the former psychic, he basically has become this Sandman for some reason. Yep. Like, remember, I'm your friend. Yep. And then apparently he wakes up and then take JSA flag, wrap around himself, and he have Power Girl carry him Braille style. And of course, I'll celebrate his return. And of course, then we have it where Sand gets a kiss from Kendra. And then we have Wildcat going to Power Girl's room. Aaron's manager's like, yo, PG, what do you want, Grant? And of course, basically, this picture of the the JS members are there, and of course Hector's acting a bit weird, smiling with his wife like that. And then we have Virgil Iron Man reuniting with his wife. And this leads into the next few issues called Out of Time. Plus, love this cover here. I believe this cover has been used for Wikipedia for whenever they look up Iron Man. Like, that's the Android Iron Man. The one in the middle is the original, and the one on the bottom, that's Rick Taylor. It's known as Out of Time. So yeah, the Android, actually, the one on the bottom is the original, and the one in the middle is actually its successor. So, yeah. So Out of Time involves Pat Diggerton. And of course, Richard Arman is back, and of course, Tyler. That's his name, the android's name, Tyler. So, basically, what the help is saying is basically back in action here. And they go on the boat to confront Extinct from 0 Hour. And the whole thing is trying to fix a mistake from... Now, my guess is that Jeff Johns probably didn't like something from 0 Hour. Namely, killing off some JS members. But he probably was told, okay, you can't bring back Al Pritt, but you can bring back Iron Man. He probably begged to bring back Iron Man, but couldn't bring Al Pritt. Nope. So, yeah, the whole thing with the story, it starts 64, and I think it wraps up with 66. I think it is 66 or 67, where the whole thing is trying to, because they need Iron Man in that spot to take out this thing in this virtual loop, and then here's the weird thing. So this ends with issue 66, and then the story ends with Rip Hunter showing up to talk to Atom Smasher. And it leads into JSA. JSA, you would think, the start of our next issue? No! Because for some reason, Jeff John probably was told, hey, can you do an Identity Crisis tie-in for JSA? It's like, fine, I'll do it. He brings in Dave Gibbons, and it's like basically JSA's reaction to the whole thing with Identity Crisis. And of course, the stuff with Suitman and Power Girl in here, Jay and his wife. It's all basically looking at people, of course, you have Wildcat be a Mirror Master. Yes, freaking Mirror Master, which I find that to be interesting. And of course, you have Mirror Master fighting a robot, which basically it's Steel. It's not Steel, it's Stripey. Yes, basically the former psychic. Yeah. And then we have the issue end, would look like a flashback to 1951, where Johnny Thunder is with the late Al Pritt. But this is just after the JSA basically were told by the House of, a parody version of House Un-American Committee, were told, for the safety of the United States, can you all unmask and tell us who you are? Hawkman's like, Hawkman's response is, nope, not gonna do that. We're hereby disbanded, goodbye, and they all leave. And the team disbands. This is all because of in-story of Red Fever. Now, this was kind of, I think this was mentioned, in the original first team between Jay and Barry in the original Flash 123. But it's been referenced a few times. I'd say it was more expanded upon in the 80s. Yes. But these are still great issues. And we get this trade here, roughly a 9. No, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 because it's really good. But the next arc, oh boy, this is going to be exciting because I have been so looking forward to this next story because this involves a really good time travel story next time I talk about this book. Yep. So yeah, that's a particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do another like button. Well, next up is Chain Soldier. Next time after that will be Fairy Tale, then Case Closed, and I'll be caught up. What I did look up for the 7 Deadly Sins for Apocalypse Season 2, according to the report I read, is that it was on Netflix yesterday, but it does mirror Hulu. Yes, Hulu apparently is getting it on Wednesday. Okay, that's be interesting. I'll find out more when I get to that particular day. Okay? But the next video. Bye.